Hey guys, welcome back to Know Nothing Garage. I'm Jacob. Thank you for coming back and seeing me. Today I have kind of an interesting project for you guys. So this is my 2006 Honda Pilot. As you can see, it is January. It is very dirty right now, in need of a bath. But I got this about a year ago, actually from my wife's in-laws. They had it from new, and it has 190,000 miles on it. For now, today's focus is the fog lights. So you can't even see them from here. You have to come all the way down here. These things are pitiful. They are, I don't even call them fog lights, even though that's what they call them. They are not very bright at all, not very usable at all. And as you can see on this one, it's actually cracked and there's glass sitting in there. So we live in the Pacific Northwest, so often there's a lot of dark driving, rainy driving, foggy driving, all of that happens on normal commutes and on backcountry roads and everything else quite a bit. So I think it'd be nice to have something that helped light up the road a little bit more. So I don't like working all the way on the ground, so I'm going to lift this thing up just so I can see a little better what I'm doing, and we will get into it. All right, well that was a little sketchy. I don't do that very often, so it wasn't as smooth as possible, but they are up there, so that is good. I do have a custom wheel chock that my dad made for me, so I'll throw that on there just in case, and we'll call it good. So the basic plan is to kind of examine what it looks like underneath, figure out what I need to take off to get access to the light, and then yeah, take it out. Let's see what we got going on. I did want to show you guys at least a before. So here's the headlights just as they are. This is with the fog lights off, but here is the fog light that is on. And as you can see, it is just not very bright. It has this little tiny thin line that barely comes out. So, like I said, now from what I've learned on the passenger side, I should be able to get this broken one out with no issue. So I'm going to work on that. The cool thing is I'm not gonna have to reuse those plugs. Let me see here. So if you take a look at the plug, this is kind of when I wanted to do this project, is because a lot of cars don't come with factory fog lights, but you basically just have a power and a ground right here. So I can actually cut this plug off and just directly wire the power and ground from a new light directly onto it, and it should just work. I've done it before. I used to have a Toyota Tacoma. I wired a bunch of lights to the front, and it was as simple as that. It was just finding that power lead. All right, guys, I just finished. It's probably been a couple hours since I started the video, but as you can see, we have no light in here. We do have a light right here. As you can tell, I still never got this screw off. I actually started to drill it out. It was so rusted. I had all my force on it. I had easy access to it after a little while. Full force on it, still it wouldn't break loose. With WD-40 and full torque, it just wasn't working. So I was able to get to the very top bracket screw for the bracket and got that out instead, and the whole thing fell out. Still attached. But I might be able to reuse some of this bracket, cut it up, and kind of rework it for the new lights. I don't know exactly. I have some other scrap metal I can use as well. So I just got home from work. I pulled it in. One thing I did this time was I just used the shorter blocks that I have. These are just pressure treated ramps that my dad made me. This is what I have for you guys today. Let's open this guy. All right. The finest that China has to offer us. Looks like we have the mounting hardware. This stuff is pretty nice. We'll see if I can use this bracket or if I'll just have to completely build my own, which is fine. But here are the lights. Let's get one out. Okay, so this is what I was going for. They're yellow. So these aren't going to be a perfect fit, but they're actually gonna go behind. So I haven't taken any of my covers or anything off yet, but these will basically sit back in here like this. And so I just need to build a couple brackets for these to fit into, and we will see kind of how it goes. One of the first things I want to do though before that is just test and make sure these things will work. Okay, so here is our stock light. You can see, actually, you know what? Let's turn this off just for ultimate effect. Regular headlights are on, the lows, but here is the light that was coming from that other light. Really not very good. It doesn't throw far at all. This light, so this still has the plastic cover on it, but you can see this is clearly much brighter. It has a better throw, and like I said, it kind of has a thick film on it, so once that film turns, or I peel that off, it should look a lot better. This is that switch I was talking about. So I have this cool, it just has, you know, the factory on off, and you can see my fog light there turn on, my new one. So that's pretty cool. That's why I wanted to utilize this system, was because that has that little switch right there. I don't have to wire anything. So that is awesome. I am very happy that this works. So I will add those connectors here and on the bar, or on the lights. And then the next step after that will be to actually plug it in, make sure it works again. And then after that, I will have to, I'll leave them off. I'll take this panel off again, and then we will have to start seeing how a bracket might be formed. So, good stuff. All right, day 3, let's do it. This was the existing bracket that I flattened out. It was that big square shape. I basically just took a piece like this big to make the bracket, but there were some tabs hanging off the end of it, so all I did was cut those out so I had a straight piece of metal. So that's what I did on this driver's side. This one is wired up. Let's take a look and see if I was successful or if this was a total failure. Got lights. Oh, I see a fog light. There we go. Okay. Not too bad, actually. Yeah. That is pretty cool. So you can see it's set a little far back in there, but it's straight. So that's kind of the issue, is I'd actually have to cut this plastic and move it up because the old ones were at this really weird angle, but it doesn't look like any of it's really being blocked. There's a little bit that leaks into here, but it's not bad. So that might be livable for now, since this is kind of the beta test. The light here, it's not too bad. It's straight. The only thing is it does shake, so I actually have some cable to attach it, so I'm not too worried about that. My final product, I guess you could say, will have it, but you can basically see I put a bracket up here, and that is kind of some, I don't know if it's subframe. It's a little piece that comes off the chassis, but that's actually what held our the air intake box before. And there's just a hole there that actually held these cables. So I just utilized that. So I will probably run something off of this bolt down here, and that'll be kind of my holder to help stabilize this so it doesn't wiggle. This side, I have no idea where the attachment points are yet. I don't think that exact same bracket, maybe it is. Oh, I have the exact same hole here. Oh, that's gonna make this so much easier. Okay, I have a game plan. Basically just have to cut out a flat piece of that, a long piece, and make sure it's the right length. Awesome. Okay, well, let's get started. All right, well, this is fun. I completely finished this side. As you guys saw, got a nice light in there, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, I think it's a trial version. It'd be nice to maybe have a slightly skinnier light that maybe was here. This one sits on this side about 2 inches back, but that's totally fine. I have my little clip that I was telling you guys about. Goes from the back, you can see that little thing, and then actually connects down to this bolt. And it holds it pretty sturdy. It doesn't really move now that it has a front and back, or a top and bottom mounting plate. So this next one actually looks like it's going to be easier. All right, next day, nothing has changed. I built the bracket in the last one, but I haven't even test fitted it or found the right hardware for it or done anything. So I'm just going to jump right in. All right, guys, so here is the light. I have a little bit more adjusting to do, but I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but if we come under, There is the bracket right here that goes down and holds it in. This band is going to hold it in place to secure it so it doesn't wobble, and that is it. Let's see what they look like here. Turn the lights on and the fog lights. So there we go. So you can see we've got good light coming out. You know, it's really not too bad. This one you can see, it has a good pattern. It is definitely better. I know maybe the camera doesn't do it justice. It is definitely better than what it was. And then with the brights on, oh, the brights actually bypass and turn off the fog lights. Interesting. I did not know that. So I'll hang you guys out here. You can see brights are on and regular lights are on, and then fog lights go off and regular lights go off. My purpose in making this channel and doing these projects is really just to learn things myself. I've always liked doing projects and discovery and just learning how to do things I don't know how to do. I love cars. I want to do a lot of projects with cars. House projects. Actually, the next video that I'm going to film for you guys is actually, I'll give you a little sneak peek, but I got a tire rack holder for those tires. So I'm going to do that. But I just want to challenge you guys to always be learning, always be trying something new. There's nothing wrong with it. I like to start on things that aren't life or death. You know, something that's going to alter my vehicle where it could explode or, you know, blow up for some reason on the road. Fog lights were a pretty easy start to that. A cold air intake is a pretty easy start to that. And we can work our way up. So let me know what other projects you want to see. Maybe we could do a little overlandy and maybe put a rack up there. I've never done something like that before. I kind of want to do something to the exhaust, much to my wife's chagrin, but maybe something secret that can stay stock when it needs to be. Also, I was thinking about blacking this out. Let me know what you guys think, if that would look good. But those are kind of the pilot projects. I've done some things to my wife's car. I think it'd be fun to continue to do things to that as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.